what a start for Shopify Rebellion. They get themselves on the board with a crazy fast game. I'm back here with Baby Bay and Sapphire. In fact, so fast, that was actually the fastest international GC map we have ever seen.
Shopify's already breaking records.
Yes. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for more. Yeah, just crazy stuff out of Shopify. They looked very poised, very calm, collected. They looked confident up there. They were having fun. A little bit of body shooting. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, they looked phenomenal.
Yeah, you know, we said, like, obviously we felt Floor was going to do really good, but there's always that question of, like, can this player perform on the international stage? The answer is yes, and I feel like if we're going to talk about more records, I feel like Floor could get an ace record probably for this tournament, too. Who knows?
She's on track. Yeah, if she keeps doing stuff like this.
Yeah, this AWP presence was just, it was so oppressive. Every time EDG was going somewhere, she was getting a first blood, and they were doing a really good job of setting her up. And even the times where she wasn't getting kills with the AWP, they had all the info because she's getting these deep A lines and this pistol round, right? She gets an ace, of course. All headshots, by the way. Insane. But yeah, the AWP presence, it can be so annoying.
Stop.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen that.
What is this? How do we
400 on the dot? ACS.
That's perfect.
I mean,
I've seen Floor have like 389 before. Okay.
Yeah, and that's her first map at the global event ever, Sapphire. The crazy thing is she can do better than that. We know she could actually.
Yeah, she probably will. Yeah. You know, I guarantee in the back of her mind, she's like, you know, it's okay. Like, it's okay. But I don't know. It's just so, like, I just love how versatile she was. Like, literally, like you said, she was everywhere getting the first blood. No matter where they were going, she was there.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't an AWP entry, dropping the AWP to Noya and then doing aggressive plays with sky pop flashes through smokes to interrupt the defaults that EDG were doing, and then dashing in for more. It was insane.
That peak jumping around the corner.
I've never seen anybody do that rollout, by the way. That was insane.
Yeah, that was really
It's
crazy.
really smart, actually, because she knows, okay, like, what's the worst thing that's going to kill me is a Marshall. Okay, let me make it hard to get headshot.
Nothing, actually. Absolutely nothing. But one interesting thing I wanted to go back on is because before we jumped into this map, we looked at just how slow EDG are when it comes to their plant time. But on this map, it was the complete opposite. They were planting within like the first 10-20 seconds. Why do you think that was?
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, we did say like they're going to have to change something on this. They're going against one of the best Haven teams in the world. And so I guess they were trying to find something different. Obviously, like knowing that the comp that they were playing against just has a ton of refreshes. And so they needed to get in early after that first utility was burned. I think that was potentially the plan.
Yeah, it's a hard comp to play against, man. It kind of forces you to have to be really good with your utility and really maximize like the space that you gain with it. And it's like, I think they had good ideas, especially when they were going towards the A site where like they kind of flipped and went into hell and they waited out for that Viper smoke to fade. But the person in short went up a little too early, which was Clem. She got caught out because she's isolated. It's such a hard comp to play against. If you play too slow against it, they just have all the refreshables up again, you know? There's just consistently cycling these smokes. And if it's not a smoke, it's a KJ molly. If it's not a KJ molly, it's a Viper molly. Oh, all of a sudden you have the site finally, and there's an Omen flash hitting you. Yeah. It's so versatile, and that's why it's the meta comp, in my opinion, right now on Haven.
And Shopify, you know, the understanding they had of the comp as well. I think Shopify, obviously, they played their game, but it's time to take a look at the aim lab shoot around with EDG's Wawa Lee. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, obviously, Shopify, an insanely good team. They proved that. But for EDG, it just looked like maybe they were nervous. Maybe the LAN jitters got to them a little bit, because I don't believe they showed their full potential.
Definitely not. I mean, there was a lot of whiffs and shaky plays and things that we did not see this team do in their regional events, or even when they played it in the Chinese qualifier LAN event. So this is not their full potential, and you know, maybe we're going to see that going into a map that they're far more comfortable with.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's to be expected, you know, like this was literally Blue's first game ever on LAN, on Jet, against like one of the best Jets in the world. Like, it's just like, it's to be expected. So like, I do feel bad. I do feel like they definitely could have won more rounds for sure, but I think that they won't have to deal with this annoying comp on Haven, and they might actually be able to put up a fight on this next map.
I mean, from your experience as well, you know, after you go up against an opponent like that, you're a little bit nervous, you're not quite sure how you're going to do. How do you shake it off? You know, how do you genuinely GG go next and make sure that doesn't happen again?
I just think it's like, how much worse can it be? Like, are you actually gonna get like this? Like, surely they don't get 13-0'd. You know, I'm hoping they don't. I don't want them to. So in your head, it's like, okay, like what do we have to lose? You know, like, let's just play our game. At the end of the day, if we lose, we lose, and it's a great learning experience for this team, honestly.
Exactly. Even if you're unmatched here and you might not even win the series, like, just getting as many rounds as you can and getting a good momentum is gonna set you up for a better run in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and we've also seen it. We've seen teams, you know, lose dominantly for the first map, but then actually make it really competitive and even take it to map 3 as we move on to Sunset, which was EDG's map choice. And Sapphire, we already know they are comfortable here. And I think after getting the first map out the way, I don't expect it to be as dominant this time around.
No, and they jumped into this map pretty early as soon as it came into the map pool. They've played it on LAN before. What we hopefully will see here is we're going to see Blue, who is obviously newer to this team, play an agent that she's going to be far more comfortable with. So I think the team is just much better positioned as we go into Sunset.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Blue, out of the 3 matches she has played, I guess this is the 4th, a lot of her reps have been on Raze, and her stats are phenomenal. It's not a lot to go off of, but you can clearly tell that she has a better understanding of how to play the Raze compared to the Jet. I know we saw a bunch of, like, you know, missed smoke timings and stuff like that on the Jet, but it's all in the past. The Raze is going to be good. I know Blue's going to pop off.
Yeah, and this is their map pick as well. I
as
feel
much
like,
as she can against
hey, never underestimate anyone on this stage.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
But I want to talk about Sunset real quick because the comps that they both run, I feel like you're both really big fans of it, and probably a place where you don't want to see any changes, right?
Yeah, I really like the Breach Fade Raze combo with the Cypher and controller of your choice, preferably, you know, Omen or Astra. But yeah, I think it's just a well-rounded comp, and I think we're going to have a mirror matchup here, which is going to be cool, and it's going to be a real test for both teams.
Yeah, and I think it's a comp that's going to lend better to their slow play style that we expect. Like, they're going to use a lot of the util to early push up floor. I think obviously we're going to expect floor to be very aggressive in multiple places on the map, but I think they're now going to have that utility to take and hopefully hold the sites.
Yeah, and I also like, even during that map, we were talking about this when we were watching the game, the vibes are good on the side of EDG. They're not tilted, they're not frustrated, they're not looking sad, they were all smiles, and I think that's a huge positive.
Yeah, that's really important. I mean, if you can have fun when you're losing, it's only good signs for the next map, because, I mean, we saw a completely distraught EG yesterday. They did not look like they were having any fun, even though their coach was like, like, that map's in the past. When you lose to a comp like that in the fashion that they lost, it can really affect you mentally and check you out, basically. But I don't think EDG's checked out of this like whatsoever.
No, definitely not. Like, we want to see those vibes stay up. Like, even the simple things, it sounds so silly, but like fist bumping between rounds, like, that just kind of keeps your head in the game. You know, you don't want to be that person like slamming your mouse because you look over and you see your teammate doing that. Like, you know, it's going to bring you down. So the energy seems really positive for this team, and I think they know their comfort level on this map. They're not walking into the blind here.
Yeah, and before we jump into the second map, we actually have an interview. Mika Fabs is standing by with EDG's coach, even Shui Shui.
Hey guys, Mika Fabs here, and I'm standing here with the coach of EDG, Shui Shui. So coach, we saw that that was definitely a dominant win on the side of Shopify Rebellion. What's the plan? What's the comeback for map number 2?
那其实第一张图是比较遗憾，是个比较一边倒的一场比赛嘛，所以说你觉得可能在第2张图日落之城当中，你们需要做些什么，然后才能够反败为胜呢？
我们就只能多打点非常规，打得强一点吧，然后打那种残局吧。
So maybe we would like to have more uncommon strategies, try our best in map 2, and also maybe to have more clutches.
Can't wait to see it. Shui Shui, best of luck to EDG.
Oh, that's a tough position to be as a coach as well. You know, you don't have a lot of time to turn things around, but it sounds like, again, they want to stick to their own strats, their own game plan. And we know Sapphire. We've seen them in their own region. When the game plan works, it looks great.
It's really good. I mean, they beat a very, very strong Zeta team on this map to even get to this event. So it looks really good. They're going to keep it slow and comfortable, and they're going to control the pace on this.
Yeah, I'm glad that he said that, because like you have to play your own game. Otherwise, you don't know what to work on. If you're trying to do things that you don't normally do, it's just gonna be a disaster, right? Kind of like the last map, you know. But to be fair, I feel like the comp that they played against kind of forced them into playing out of their comfort zone. This map, it should not be the case, and they should be able to, you know, actually play these slow rounds. And I do want to see a plant at like 6 seconds left.
I love that.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I bet it's gonna work. I bet it'll work.
Yeah, that's the thing though, right? I like the way the pacing you mentioned, Sapphire, because it does feel like in the first map, the momentum was on the side of Shopify, and they dictated the entire pace of the map. And this time around, if EDG had an opportunity to maybe try and gain the momentum themselves, it should be all right, right?
I think so. I think so. You know, and we just want to see like a stronger start. You want to pick up a few rounds. Like obviously, starting 1 to 11 is not good energy for the second half. So as long as Effie's just
wake up, Effie.
Effie's is not entertained.
Yeah,
it's another day in the office for him, huh?
He wants it. He likes getting riled up.
Yeah.
I think he likes when his team's down 10 rounds so he can get into his zone. But yeah, another day at the office.
And Effie's is someone that we all know that even when they are in such a dominant position, he's not going to let the ball drop. He's not going to start, you know, underestimating people, allowing his players to relax too much. And I think, again, he's been a great addition to this roster.
Oh, yeah. Mel and Alexis all the time talking in interviews about how much he means to the team, how much they trust him. Like, they'll just sit down in server with him for hours and hours and talk through things and theorize. So he's been such a fantastic addition to this roster.
Yeah, to backpack off of that, like, I feel like he was such a good LAN player when he was a pro. In this game. In this game. He was cold. Online, like whatever, you know, he was good. But on LAN, this guy was getting 1v4s. I remember watching him on split 1v3s, 1v4 every other round, just being like this guy that's just dominating. And I wonder if that's a big reason why Flora is having such a good performance. If he instilled like, hey, this confidence and like what's it like to be on LAN and his experience onto her.
I mean, the craziest thing is they didn't need to use any tactical pauses on that first map. So we haven't even seen like the true power of Effie's yet. That hasn't even been brought into the equation.
So real quick, fun fact. We were backstage the other day, like a couple days ago, and he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna give them any pauses at all. They're gonna have to do it all themselves for the series.
Whoa.
And that was the challenge that they had. Now, I mean, maybe if they start losing, stuff could happen, but he told Mel, he was like, I'm not giving you any pauses.
Oh,
you're gonna have to do this yourself.
Goodness.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know.
It's good. Like, you know, he throws kind of Mel in the fire, and she learns from that. Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. Did he say just for this series?
I don't remember what it was. I think it was probably for just this series.
Just this series.
I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, even looking down the bracket, if Shopify, they do move on to the next round, there's still so many good teams in this tournament as well, which is going to be really, really interesting to see how they end up performing, because like we said beforehand, Sapphire, Mel and Alexis, they weren't happy with their placement at GC last year. They want to win the trophy. They're not like, oh yeah, if we make a semi, we make it to the final, it's great. They literally want to win the entire tournament.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is their legacy. Like, they've been set up for, I mean, almost 3-4 years now of being by far the best players in North America, if not the world. So anything less than that global championship, they're going to walk away disappointed again.
Yeah, and can you imagine, you know, players like Noya, Sarah, and Fluorescent just picking up a trophy like that right off the bat as well, right? That's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm getting ahead of myself. Like yesterday I was like, oh yeah, SMG, they're going to be in the final.
No, Alexis said one game at a time. One game at a time.
I'm like, G2, they're going to be in the final. No. At this point, for
I thought
me,
EG was going to win everything. They still can.
Hey,
they still can.
Lower bracket exists. Lower bracket exists. I believe we are heading soon into Agent Select. We're going to see if we are going to get that mirror matchup from the side of both teams. And again, Sunset hasn't been out for a very long time, but they've both played it. They both never lost. They both play the same comp. So it does feel like it really is going to come down to who's going to be the heavy hitter.
Yeah. So here's just something to think about. I'm pretty sure Shopify is starting on attack here, and is that gonna be bad for EDG? Because they want to be able to play at their own pace, but if you're starting on defense, you're not able to really set a pace, especially with this breach comp. I feel like you could get punished really easily by being too aggressive early on.
Yeah, as you can see from the Prime Gaming agent select, Sapphire, what we expected?
It's exactly as we expected. We expected this mirror match from them. It's the comp that EDG has been playing for several months now. Actually, Shopify has just this used to be a ban for them, and they just started dabbling in this in co-ed, but they pulled out this comp, and it's been working really well for them.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for the roles, at least on Shopify. I really like it. I think that there is a world in which double controller, I mean, it definitely can be played. We already saw it yesterday. And it might transition to that, but for now, this breach fade is amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. It's time to send this back to your casters and see if we're going to get a map 3. Over to you, Mimi and Ender.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. Yes, very excited to get into this map number 2. And obviously, a rough start, Chrissy, for EDG. Yep. But let's get some hope in here. What are the win conditions? Who is going to bring them back to life for map 2?
All right, Mimi, get ready for an EDG lore drop. Okay. Because I got the sauce on Simi Lu. When there is a bug in the practice room that needs to be swatted, Simi Lu is the player that steps up to swat the bug. She needs to bring that energy to Shopify Rebellion right here and now.
Real story. She's the only one who can do it, the only one brave enough. And we'll have to see if that's enough to come back into this map. We are hopping into Sunset, the first time in Game Changers for both these teams to play it.
Right now, big fight from EDG over B main, but Fluorescent starts it off with a 2K. Are you kidding me? It's just Wawa Lee playing for Market, but now she's smoked off. This site completely open.
And the flash is coming through. It'll be B site fully taken. Wawa toying with the idea of getting ahead of this smoke, but no opportunity presents. Shopify holds the line, and they have a great post plan.
Yeah, this position from Noya too. You'll see so many Sentinel players take up the late re-wrap or holding for the rotates through mid. She has that quick flank going in now, and EDG, they're going to try to come out with the flashes from the breach, the Prowler as well, but Noya's so close behind. Fluorescent with a 4K, are you joking? Sarah is there for the 5th. What a start to Shopify Rebellion Sunset. That's 5-0.
And it's a Prime Gaming Flawless to get things going. Floor is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It literally took 1/2 of playing, and then she's just up to the standard that she was showing us back
I couldn't tell you how it happened. Now I can. She was up here with a little blast back play.
Sick satchel play to get that off angle to double swing.
The way she's playing with elevation is crazy. Did she get the last kill fully blinded? Oh no, that Alexis got the kill. Sarah got the kill, sorry. I think
she was blinded, we could say
she was blind.
Did.
Yeah, she was playing above, then she was playing below. It's another B main fight, but I don't know. Fluorescent is on one. The snap over. Sarah's there for the kill. Oh boy.
A 5-0 start. It's not too bad. Not too shabby.
We take those.
Indeed.
You think Effie's is happy with the first round and a half we've seen from Shopify?
No, I feel like Effie's whole shtick is we can't rely on solo plays, guys. We need to be a coordinated team. But some tells me he's not too mad about this outcome. For another, she's just unstoppable. 3 kills in the second round. She has ult.
I bet Effie's is feeling like Neon when she ults right now. Because we just lost Mel to a Sheriff. That's a tough way to go.
It's not like we had the FPX by anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Actually, Shopify, Fluorescent has ult in round 2. Again, remember how the last half
even
closed?
In round 2, after 2 kills in round 2, like right away she had it.
Yeah, she'll save it for round 3, presumably. Because
Noya.
once again, Noya has that wrap going around.
Noya both rounds has spent a lifetime walking her way up through mid, finding her flank, and everyone's dead by the time she gets there.
Yeah, and the thing is she's showing that early on in the half. It's an act of conditioning, right? Because now every time EDG are initiating a retake on the B side, they're going to be turning around. They're going to be spooked. They're going to be seeing ghosts in the walls. And Noya might do it a few more times, but she's going to stop doing it at some point, and it's going to eat up the attention and time of EDG in the retakes.
First rifle rounds here for EDG in map number 2. It took, what, 9 rounds in a row before they found their first in map number 1. This is their chance to get started stronger. But there's that rocket we talked about. Floor finds that tag onto Yusin, and she's out of the sight. That's 8 taken for Shopify Rebellion. And look in mid, Noya was waiting. Blue tries to push on a re-clear, and she falls. That's a big player to lose in the retake.
Yeah, still 4 players alive and rifles to move with. Waddle we lead full utility, but there's no flank going down in mid. EDG are going to have to come back into this site, but this high-low from Mel and Fluorescent is just unbeatable.
The verticality is so important in those post plants, and Noya's full blind when she gets that kill. Not a matter for Shopify. They tear them to bits. Poor Wawa Lee. She doesn't even know where to look. 1v5. And Shopify, it's just a matter of getting it over with now.
I mean, that's literally what Floor is just going to bring you when she gets that many kills in the first 2 rounds. Unlocks the ultimate so they can start off it. No.
Okay.
Mel's the only player that died. In 3 rounds, Shopify Rebellion have lost Mel 1 time.
Yeah, and then another prime giving flawless.
Oh. Flawless.
Sometimes we will see some more of those with Shopify in this form.
And I like how Noya's playing this around mid too. You play tiles a few times, you mix it up, play down bot mid to clear out those rotates in. Because now, EDG, like I'm saying, are trying to actively seek out and hunt down Noya, flush her out. But she's just in a new location. She's dancing around the map. Floor is getting all the highlight reels, but Noya is going to be a permanent problem for EDG to solve.
Lesser buy here.
Look at them
EDG,
diving for her.
Oh my god. Blue's just on the hunt. You're going to lurk on us 3 rounds in a row. We're going to try and punish. Doesn't work out though. Noya gets a beautiful little opener. And now here again, the A site is in the control of Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, EDG have a couple players on the fast
Great
flank.
statue.
Wawa Lee's going to be a little bit late. And we'll see if Shopify respond with this. They do have that camera, that trip, spotting out players. They know the flank is underway.
As they do, Alexis sustaining with great utility. Noya swings. It is a complete shutdown, but CMU will be able to trade back for something. But here comes the reaction and push into spawn. Clem takes one with their Sheriff. And there was moments of hope, but in a 1v3, surely there's not a chance when you're up against Noya. 4 kills for her. We already mentioned it once, but by the way, Shopify, super team, all their players, very good.
Very, very good, you might say. And that round that she gets a 4K and starts off with, I think, a fault line, a paranoia, a raise flying through the sky. Noya just, swats her out of there like she's a bug, and then moves on to the rest of the round.
Thought it was going to be the other way around this game. No, that's tough. Everyone clearly brave enough for that one on Shopify.
But to be fair, 3rd round, they went all in on EDG's side, so that was a bit of a half buy. They're back in it now. Still a long way away from some of those big power ults for EDG. And they're looking to get a little bit aggressive, spot out where the push is going to be outside of A main. And I like this. Yusine has been so good for EDG. Looking for that aggressive angle, pushes back into it and gets the first. Unfortunately, the trades come in, and now A site, nobody's home.
What's the answer to this A main control? Because it's only so important for these defenders to hold on to that, and it feels like EDG haven't gotten it once.
Well, I think the problem with how they're set up there is I think it's really good to have Yusine going for that angle, but they don't have fighting utility behind it. Yeah, you have info util with the Prowlers from Fade, but Omen can't take out the Paranoia because Omen's the one actually fighting. You need to actually have the Breach.
On the other side of the map?
Exactly, you need Breach there if you want to actively fight into that line.
But now Breach is here. 3v4 retake. It's not impossible, but it's going to be tough. Same high-low setup here for Mel. A Paranoia will buy even more time on that spike.
It is just tough to work with. A couple of flashes from Wawa Lee. Let's see if they end up committing. They're going to. Satchel on in.
She's sky high. Drops down below, and Noya still gets one despite 3 targets ahead of her. Mel's position needs to be cleared, but there's just no time. The stall was perfect, and EDG have to run for the hills.
Let's talk a little bit about that high-low where Mel and Alexis, or sorry, Mel and Fluorescent, I'm so used to that other duo, have been playing on top of Generator because it's so unbeatable. I think there's a little lip you can hide on that covers you from CT when you're on the elevated angle, so you can swing off and your ground player can take that fight first. You can even put someone back slant as well to have that first contact. It's really powerful, and it's one of the reasons why I think you're seeing these double mobility agents in Omen and Raze being played here. For that high-low, it's so nasty.
And it's not just that high-low. Remember that default to take B main control. It's Floor satcheling up top for a double swing. The coordination for Shopify with those setups has been so good.
You'll see it on the next half as well, posting up on like the box A link to see over that smoke. There's a lot of clever things you can do there. Once again though, Shopify, 4 players blitzing into A main, and it's a full retake setup from EDG, right? You have a camera and maybe a trip so Clem can fish out for a little bit of a kill, but Shopify's pathing avoids all of that utility.
And no power ults online still. They haven't been able to get those big ultimates that can make or break a retake on the side of EDG.
EDG have bought down to nothing as well. Swing round. They need to win this round or next is going to be tough.
And this elbow control has been an issue. Shopify has just waltzed into the A site so many rounds. It is another retake.
No flank to come in. We'll see what Noya can accomplish playing down bot mid. Players rotating through mid, hoping they can find out Noya, but she's patient this time. She is just on lurk duty, making sure no one from EDG can push into Shopify's flank.
That was the conditioning that you were talking about. She is always in control of this space, and with her presence known, she'll now rotate back over to A. Here comes the retake. Paranoia. Information is good. Blue starts things off for EDG, but Alexis will siege back into the site and find 2 kills. Noya is just behind, and Shopify have A on lock. They haven't lost a retake yet.
No,
they haven't lost a round yet.
It's not even looking close, right? They only lose 2 players. I think again there you have Alexis coming away with a couple of critical kills, and still Fluorescent and Mel's position has not been broken. It was good retake utility, I think, from EDG, but Alexis lands that stun knowing the players were flooding out from Link and gets that second kill while full blinded. Here's what I'm talking about. Mel is hiding around the corner, and then once they're running out, they have to look directly into the sky. It's just not fair.
Timeout for EDG here. This gives a second to talk about Alexis, honestly, because she was Cloud9's best performing player, really, it seemed, when they came to the championship last year. They didn't succeed there, but again, she's back with that same duo with Mel, with a new team around her, and it still looks like, on this initiator role, she is one of the most impactful players on the team.
And consistently impactful as well. Alexis, I don't think she has bad games.
Yeah.
Like, she's always up there, #1, #2 performer for the squad. Her utility always perfection as well, when she's usually, with a lot of the comps they're running, that solo flash initiator for the team.
And in the meta for this last year, that has been the role with the most pressure when we were playing Harbor Viper. Even now, when we're playing these breach comps on maps like Sunset, so much of the pressure falls to her, and it seems like it just falls straight off her shoulders.
So, EDG, what's the pivot? I thought coming out of the timeout, it was going to be more fighting for A main. What we might see is next round. You know, you don't want to sell what you're actually talking about in the timeout immediately, so you come up with one ult strat here, which is the B stack, because what Shopify are reading is, hey, we've been slamming A, EDG are going to play there, and now Shopify actually walk into the trap EDG have set up. EDG might also play a little bit more passively. Previously, they've fought into that line, but this time, with Sheriffs and a Judge, they're going to play the close line with potentially 2 players swinging out from backside off the contact from Blue.
I'm looking at that Judge. Close corner, util to support. What can she do?
Well, there's going to be a fault line coming from Market as well once she finds someone, and the C4 doesn't clear her.
Nor does the dog, just in the nick of time. It will, but Fluorescent wasn't ready for it. And she is segmented off and taken down. That's a gun picked up and an advantage to EDG.
But Mel calls move into Noya. Noya is starting to take space into A, and just like last round, it's just one trip and a camera. Noya, once she scouts out that there's nothing here and breaks that camera, it's fully open.
And history repeats itself again. An A retake ahead of EDG. And while they've picked up one gun, they've never been able to get back into this site.
But this round could explode. One off of Blue's ult, one off Similu, one off Wawali. Any of those players gets a kill, EDG are converting this round.
Who is the difference maker? Or is it someone on the other side? Noya's forward on this angle. She'll have Blue isolated. That's the gun down. And she's going to go for more as well. Haunt up over the top. She'll escape just in time. The fault line, not enough to get rid of her. But here comes the ult. It's actually from Shopify Rebellion. They're pushing forward into spawn. They've taken down Clem. And Sarah's just jumping and diving around corners with the shotgun. It's excellence yet again. Wawali's got a Judge. She's in a 1v3. And there's just not
It's just not going to happen.
Time.
I hate to break it to you, it just isn't going to be there. The clock is out of favor of EDG. Shopify are going to take their 7th, and it comes good response. Again, EDG had a nice little setup. They were able to eat up one kill, but it's Noya pushing forward into Link, taking that fight that blows up the round. It's also Alexis, who was one off of her ult as well, getting the ult orb off of the spike plant so they could fight deep into CT, and Shopify continue their dominance.
Mid-round call to go for these aggressive fights for Shopify. It is always seemingly in the right direction.
Also, Mel just always has paranoia for the post plant too. It's just always supplemented.
Big round here for EDG. 4 ults online. We've been waiting for those. This could be their chance to break momentum.
I think it could turn into their mid dive here. Look how fast Blue is moving up here. Here comes the party.
Just on the other side, Rocket connects onto Fluorescent. A massive player to fall, and Blue gets more. 2-for-1 trade. EDG are going to keep the train rolling down those tracks. Noya, though, takes out onto 1, and it's just a wild swing through. Back and forth, the trades come. And
Mel's going to spawn.
2v2, but look at Mel. Do they have any idea she's here?
They're going to. There's a camera on site and a couple of trips, but Yusine is going fast on that flank. Mel's still hunting. She wants a fight.
Clem just gets past her.
Oh,
and she's
no.
sitting on the camera.
No.
The timing's off, but Mel whiffs it. A rare opportunity lost, but can Noya make better on it? Spike will be recovered. 1v1.
Cage triggered.
Oh no, she thinks Yusine's in spawn. She's coming back, but the flank is already here. Yusine's out on site.
Is Noya ready for this? Camera there, it gets broken. Now she has the information, but a teleport across. Noya's not ready, and it does matter you soon. It's excellent. EDG again, break the streak. They have a round on the board.
Yusine never goes for the fake TP. It's always the craziest, going as deep as she possibly can to make that one happen. A super chaotic round, and it opens up with Blue getting 2 critical kills. The emergency sub coming in for Leisha here. Starts out that round in a great way. That dive play they dipped into 4 rounds ago, they run it back. This time it works to perfection. And Yusine is able to close it out, activating the flank off of all the space that Blue bought her at the round start.
Another fight for A main control. And Simu, she's so far ahead of everyone else. The ult is committed through here, and Fluorescent is still fine for it. Blue is pinching through mid, but she's completely alone. The
Dodge
cat
the Prowler.
misses, but it doesn't matter. Fluorescent takes her down, and she'll fall away now as the rest of EDG slowly trickle in, and they're just evaporated.
Shopify with the sit-and spawn strat after that, and EDG just run after him one by one. That's the A-main fight I wanted to see as Wawali takes the first, but is quickly dealt with. Right, EDG are there with the breach ult. They've got the Omen Paranoia, but this time, no one's actually in a fighting position. The fight came in before anything came underway. Shopify just beat Simu to the punch on that first fight.
And you saw that Shopify started that round playing further back so that if that ult came in, they could absorb the aggression, shrink back together, and it worked great. Clem, though, it looked undoable, but she's gotten at least 1 kill. Has a 1v3 now.
Needs to channel that rollout energy. The famous faker roll. Clem, that's how she started out the day, but it's been anything but that same level of confidence
look at
now.
That setup. 3 players all holding in a row. Surely there's no chance Clem can get anything done. It's 1, but it's not enough.
Got mine. Enemy Cypher down. Noya has been dealt with. I repeat, Noya has been dealt with.
They didn't win.
Oh. You know what? But
you gotta take
in the Cypher 1v1, you take that, though.
Cypher did.
What can you do? What can you do when the opening gamble doesn't end up paying off? EDG tried to go for it. That's a big expenditure in the ulti there as well. Sarah's having a great time.
They all are. Looking happy out on that stage.
And just Sheriffs now for EDG. Good news is, win or lose, EDG can go get barbecue after this, because this play is not looking good for Shopify. Oh my word, big damage.
Floor live. She's still alive in this season, and she has a rocket as well. If she catches on to how many players are there, could have feasted, but she moves away instead.
The protocol is just the same thing every time, though. Oh, B main aggression, Noya's on A site, has it for free. EDG are so scared of Shopify, they're full stacking on site, but it opens them to force them into the A retake.
Noya is the monster under the bed. Every round, she's finding her perfect gap, and Mel is calling around it so well. Another 5v5 A retake. This time, no ults, just Sheriffs.
Have 2 players coming in on the flank, but there's a camera here up in the window that spots out both the lane as well as main.
But look at how thorough they are. 2 players go to re-clear the flank.
I love their protocols.
From Shopify.
It was the same thing back on Haven. They expect the flank, they expect the aggression, they turn around to re-clear. And there, Alexis left on her own, but she's good enough to get the job done.
And here comes that proactivity. Classic for Shopify. We're in a post plant. We're comfortable. We're still going to find a new angle to get aggressive. Simu got a couple good shots here. Got this into a 3 versus 2, but that time is an issue. Simu holding on to the spike. Will draw out the ults, and it goes nowhere, but Noya did the job, and she'll do even more.
Noya's kind of on one today.
She's nuts. We were all here like, oh, it's the big day. It's the floor debut.
Like, Noya's good, but she's usually not allowed to frag like this. She's 15-3.
This is the map for Cyphers to frag, though, especially with the way EDG is playing. Sunset's her playground.
Yeah. A lot of the time, especially in mid-rounds, you will be just put in positions where you're fighting one person.
And Mel's just cackling, by the way, at this point.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, my players are good.
Yeah, it's not every day you get to tell your Cypher player, Noya, go kill.
Yeah, rare strategy.
Rare strategy, really reinventing the wheel.
What you would expect from a great leadership duo like Effie's and Mel.
Mel has really just added layers upon layers to the playbook here. Next thing you know, she's going to tell herself to go kill.
Oh, brave. She's good at it, though. Stack on A here for EDG. 3 players set up to hold. Can they finally stop Shopify from getting into this site? 3 clear through elbow. Clem gets 1 and gets out 2.
And that's Fluorescent down. Dive eliminated, but still Paranoia multi-flashes. They're going to keep it going.
This is Sarah's moment to have her bit of fun. Clem on the line, and Sarah's shots missed out. That's a massive one for the Cypher to hold. But where we look at the breach.
Mel, go kill!
Mel,
go kill!
Is going, killing. What is that teleport? She's up and over the top, and she's traded. But it's Noya here in a 1v2. It's been excellence from her all this map.
I have retrieved the spike.
She has every piece of info she could want.
She's loud too. She doesn't care if EDG know where she is. She's ready to take these fights one by one.
And they are alone. We'll group up now in the 2v1. Noya, a free site to get the plant, but with 30 seconds, 30 seconds take her time.
She thinks a player went back into main. Unfortunately now, spots at least 1 off of that. Still taking it slow, down to 20 seconds. She has a cage to try and stick the plant, but this isn't going to be easy.
EDG 1 Prowler to work with. They're patient. Know that she has to commit to the plant now, but can they stop her? Plant coming through. Noya gets it in. She has to hop off though. 7 seconds. No time. No chance to stick this one through unless she gets the kills. But Similu just barely saves the round for EDG.
Oh, you almost saw it though.
Too damn close.
Noya's on one. Slips away at the end. Big round victory for EDG though. We'll see it again because it gets a little bit silly. I think like everyone's back on site and Mel just kept on going. I don't think EDG was expecting so many players, but that kill from Yusin absolutely changes the context of the round.
The back of A side is just an anthill. More players than you. Oh. Are they talking a little trash?
Yeah,
Are they getting the energy
I think they're waking up,
okay.
You know? Get back into it, last round of the half, make it 9-3, and it feels doable.
Blue going into mid again, she's in so much trouble. Every piece of utility invested against her, and she's down. Houston will try and swing through and trade and help her teammate out, but it is all for naught. Clem, on the other hand,
Clem's doing great.
She's
Look
had
at
a great
that.
game, but look at the protocols again. Okay, we lose a player, double swing, traded out. Now we have the A side again.
It almost looked problematic how close they were. Like you saw the vision, the lineup, but the shot doesn't quite connect at the end. What can we do? Similu swat some flies, make something happen, but in the 2-on-4, and 4 with the satchel, will be able to position up again on Generator. There's no way you're getting in.
Alexis 1 flash, and Sarah Util to work within this post plant as well. Players are isolated on EDG. Wawa Lee spotted out, stuck in this corner, and Noya's not whiffing that. Clean shot onto the breach. Leaves it all down to Similu and Alexis. Oh, there's nothing much left to do. 10-2, yet again in these halves. It's just been unreal from Shopify.
Yeah, I mean, last map, 11-1, now it's 10-2. It's slipping. Effie's is going to have a big speech to make it
They were
halftime.
twice as close this round. We'll have to see, though, what the desk has to say about that half.
Oh, thank you very much, you guys. Yes, another great start from Shopify. And also, you guys, Noya, how you spoke about how annoying it is to play against the comp on Haven, but how annoying is it to play against Noya on Sunset?
Yeah, I mean, she got value from off the rip of the rounds. Like, she's killing, who is it, Blue? She's killing Blue constantly in mid, trying to get a flank in, and she's just controlling all these lurks. And not only that, but taking all these aim tools and just doming everybody possible. Like, look at this. Just sitting in mid, gets a free kill delivered to her. Yeah, she's been popping off right now.
Yeah, you know, we actually didn't talk about her as much in the pregame, but like Noya deserves all the credit. Like such a consistent player for this team. Like you never necessarily see her at the bottom. She's always consistently performing, and I guess this time she kind of got to play pseudo duelist.
Yeah. Also EU buff. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming them. I'm claiming them. I am claiming them.
There you go. Yeah.
But of course, we're going to switch half on the second officer sides even, and Clem is the opposite number on the side for Sapphire. What are we expecting from her? You think it's going to be a similar playstyle and controlling the similar space as Noya did?
Yeah, you know, I think we want to see a lot of that, like watching those flanks. Like we think we're going to see a lot of that come out of Shopify, and so that's going to need to be the play from Clem, is like checking those extra angles, making sure she's grabbing those flanks, like slowing down the pace. Really, like that's what keeps it on pace. Is she's watching those extra angles and hopefully getting those kills.
The only problem is it's a 10-2 deficit. You have to win pistol here if you want to have any type of game going into this, and it's just tough, especially the type of game that they want to play. They have to just pull this pistol out. They have to do it.
They have to kill Fluorescent.
They have to kill Floor before she gets another 4K or ace. She almost aced again.
And then you got to take Noya out too. So you know there's that other layer as well.
Hey, we'll never know. We never know. Let's get back into game with Mimi and Ender and see if EDG can indeed take a pistol.
10-2, but it seems the same story as last time, Christy. You gotta win this pistol if you're EDG.
And it's gonna start with an A main bloodbath. If this was the Hunger Games, A main is the cornucopia. 5 players of EDG about to run into a fault line and the death stare of Fluorescent.
And Floor is so precise.
Fly swatted!
Picking Blue out of thin air. Everyone else is terrified. We see Floor, we go to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, but even then, you know who you're running into, Mimi? Can you guess?
Maybe Noya?
Noya. Yeah, top flag Cypher machine on this map. Oh god, we saw the camera. What's coming after is the paranoia setting in.
One enemy.
And Noya gets more than a para kill. She'll pick off 3. No one has been able to kill her this map. 21-4 on the Cypher. And she's going for more. Swing through. Just give it to her. Just give her another one.
Yeah. Super awesome, super nice, good.
Another word I'd use, flawless. Prime gaming flawless.
Nice.
One of many in this map for Shopify Rebellion.
Shopify Rebellion having too much fun. That is 22 kills in 14 rounds on your Cypher.
My dream job is to be Mel and Alexis and just sit back like, yeah, I got a flash for you.
Sick.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Okay, yeah, no, you just anchor the site. We'll push it through site.
And by the way, Mel attracts the attention of 3 players there. That's all why they're all turning to the right, and Noya just takes them down one by one. She's bowling out here.
That's why Mel's on the 4th 30 under 30. Prudent business decisions to sign players like this.
Well, also, she just doesn't have 30 kills.
Yeah.
Not enough time
She's
for
on
it.
that list, too.
Oh,
To her
EDG.
credit, I don't think she has a possibility. EDG at this point, might as well have some fun. Pull out the Bucky. See what you can do.
Yeah, honestly, I really like the attack strats where you just blitz up into mid and then look to wrap back into either B or A site. Come up here, break that tripwire, then smoke off either left or right, and then usually it's only one player on defense. You can see that's Alexis. Problem is they've taken so long that Mel's turned around and Alexis is spamming through smokes.
And Alexis, look at that combination of utility. The only player not flashed, by the way, is the one Alexis shoots. Just the ability to prioritize the target like that in such a short moment is amazing. Mel will go for more. She gets her fun for once. Let's go, Mel. 3 kills.
I like everyone can do it. It wasn't super awesome nice, but it was pretty darn good. That's what I'll give it.
I'd agree with that one. Series point here. Shopify Rebellion. We were excited to see them on the international stage. People knew Floor would be good, but I don't know if people expected them to be this good. They've dropped 3 rounds this series.
Yeah, and I mean, EDG, of course, you have to call the timeout here, figure out what to do. But the experience differential that we talked about, the 3 years that Alexis and Mel have been together against the 3 months.
On their 3-year anniversary, that's when this EDG squad got signed. And they're not a bad squad. They did great in their qualifier. They took down Theta Division GC, who was always really good in that East Asian region. But they come here, they play Shopify, and it is just a completely different level.
Honestly, when we were watching a lot of EDG, it seemed like what they usually did on their attacking halves, they would chill out for the first 40 seconds, sort of test and see where the aggression was going to come, and then off that information, do some kind of really aggressive, like full-on commitment into a site hit. And while I think they picked up the pace compared to how they were playing domestically, it just hasn't worked into Shopify. I think Shopify's default setups on defense have just been too strong, and also, like, they're just shooting out of their minds right now. Like Fluorescent doming Blue, who's satchelating across the aim punch to stop her in her tracks. There's not a lot you can do against that.
It's so hard to focus on how good the protocols and the synergy is on this Shopify team when you have players like Noya and Fluorescent playing like this. But even with raw talent, it takes so much more depth, and Shopify has oodles of it.
They absolutely do. It's sad to see like how disappointing of a start EDG have.
I mean, you couldn't get really a harder draw in your first round.
It's one of the toughest you can possibly get. Of course, there is a lower bracket awaiting after this. potentially for EDG. And from talking to some of the regional experts that watch EDG, they've said like they're a very close team. You'd say Shopify Rebellion are super, super close. EDG are exactly the same.
They have a cat that lives in their practice room that the team takes care of together.
Yeah.
It doesn't let them pet it, but it's there. Maybe thinking about him to support in what could be the final rounds of this series. Mel, stunned up. Great util combo by EDG. But here comes the demon on the site, Alarkin. It's Noya. She's already found one, and she's locked them out. Re-clear in mid. Noya on the scene. 2 kills. She's traded. Now a post spike for EDG.
The spike's not easily recoverable, though. There's 3 players in market sitting on it.
Look at this setup for Shopify now. The cat goes through, spots out blue. They know no one is pushing up just yet. It's a high-low, and Wawa Lee cannot get past it. All left on the substitute. Blue to try and keep her team in the upper bracket. She finds one. It's a clean tap and a nade ready. She knows that at least one player's over there, but she's not prepared for Sarah. Shopify Rebellion enter the international stage with dominance. Only 3 rounds lost as they send Edward Gaming to the lower bracket.
Day 1 is always about making a statement. Yesterday, G2 proved that they are back with insane role swaps. Then we had Team SMG prove we don't need to pick the right agents. We're going to lock in 4 duelists and own 13-3. Now Shopify Rebellion dismissing last year's missteps, right? The failure on the Berlin stage. They come in and they drop 3 rounds across 2 maps, Mimi.
And you can see the growth for the core of this team. Mel and Alexis have been together for a long time. But you can say with confidence that this is the best team they have ever had around them. Fluorescent is a star that everyone knew, but Noya impressed to an unbelievable degree on
I've never seen anything like that.
Sarah was so consistent with her utility. She's one of the most flexible players in this event. This team is unbelievable.
Yeah. And honestly, they look a little bit bored out there. It's like bring a next challenger approaches, like give us something here. A very good performance from them stepping up, especially to see Fluorescent shine here in the first 2 maps for them.
And of course, credit to EDG. They had a very tough task ahead of them, but they could not stand up to North America's super team.
So good from Shopify Rebellion here, continuing to run it through the final waves to the crowd, but they'll be back. Don't worry, we're going to be seeing a lot of them throughout the rest of this event.
Very excited to see what they can do in this upper bracket. Definitely one of the favorites to make a run here, but a lot to be said about that game, and we'll leave that to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, you guys. Make a run. I feel like it's more than just a run. They're going to be sprinting circles around everyone at this point. I've got Baby Bay and Sapphire back here with me. What do we even infer from that series? Shopify really good?
Good. Insane.
Yeah? Super good?
Insane. And what a better way to make a statement. You want, like, they barely showed any of their rounds, you know? Like, think about it. Like, whoever plays them next, how do you even watch any of these VODs and get anything out of it? Like, you didn't see their attack haven, really. You didn't really see their defense on Sunset. So it's tough, and this is the best way to win if you're them. It's intimidating for every other team they have to play against in the future.
Yeah, there's nothing you can walk away with beyond, like, Shopify good, Fluorescent good on LAN, Noya consistent. Like, the team is finally looking poised for that championship.
This is absolutely obscene. I feel like it's always Mel and Alexis, right? And when they were on Cloud9 Wyatt here, when they played against Crew as well, they were doing a similar thing. The dominance that we see from them, it's not unusual. We've seen it before.
No, they did last year against both Crew and Guild. I think they lost 8 rounds total from what I can tell.
Wow. I mean,
it's gonna
be a start for them. But let's send it down to the stage while Malone is standing by with Noya for the Rise of Chris Manchester.
Valeu, XR, tô aqui com a Noya, acabou de vencer a partida. E já quero saber dela o seguinte, é um dos times favoritos, muita pressão. E como é que foi estrear com uma vitória tão dominante? First of all, Noya, congrats on the win. You guys are one of the favorites to win it all. It was an extra pressure. And what does it mean for you guys to win in such a dominant manner?
I think we're happy to win so dominantly because then we don't show like what we've been working on too much, and I don't think we feel the pressure at all. We're just taking each game as it comes, and we're just playing like we do in scrims.
Bom, ela disse que não tem nada disso, tá tranquilo, vão jogando um jogo de cada vez, estão jogando como se fosse nos treinos, então elas não se deixam levar por isso. E uma coisa que eu achei da hora é que a torcida tá gritando muito o nome dela, eu quero saber se ela conseguiu ouvir como é que tá sendo jogar em frente da torcida brasileira. I don't know if you could hear it, but the crowd was chanting her name almost all the time. You could hear it, you couldn't. And what's it like to play in front of this Brazilian crowd?
Oh, it's amazing, and I heard them all. It's great. They're so nice. I love it.
Ela diz que dá pra ouvir sim, dá pra ouvir o tempo todo, tá adorando jogar na frente da galera. E sobre o próximo adversário, né? Vai ser BBL ou Crew que vão jogar logo mais. A BBL é a favorita, né? Então o que ele espera aí do próximo adversário? So you guys are facing BBL or Crew next match. They're playing right now. BBL is the favorite, so what do you expect? Who's gonna win? Who do you think is gonna play against you? And what do you expect about both teams?
I think we're just going to play our game. I don't think we're going to be too stressed about it. Obviously, we're going to watch this and see how they play and like prepare for it, but nothing too stressful.
Bom, ela disse que não tá se preocupando muito, vamos ver como elas vão jogar, elas vão se preocupar com o jogo delas e quem vier tá ótimo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Obrigado, é com vocês.
When people think about esports, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Players, obviously, but there's so much more.
With the launch of the MasterCard Gamer Academy, we're providing 10 people who are passionate about League of Legends or Valorant and want to pursue a career in esports with the chance to learn what it takes. What it takes to manage a team.
Can we wrap this up? We need to scream.
What it takes to produce content. Cut. Okay, yep. Okay, action. What it takes to write, direct, and produce award-winning content. And of course, what it takes to pull off some of the largest events like the League of Legends World Championship or Valorant Champions. In partnership with MasterCard, we've created a priceless experience. The chance to fly to Seoul, Berlin, and more and take immersive courses on esports, business, content, and everything in between. Taught by the very best. Think you have what it takes? Here's how to apply.
Red Bull gives you wings.